did you see that brought you to a conclusion?
I think it's important to remember that we are voting for the leader of our country and not who we like the most or who we want in our wedding party, but who is actually going to make our country better. And we're in an incredibly unique situation where we've had both of the candidates in office before, and we've gotten to see what they would do. And when facts come to facts, my life was better when Trump was in office. The economy was higher, inflation was lower, things were better overall. And now with Kamala's administration, things haven't been so fantastic. And she's saying she can fix the problems that her administration has caused, but I just don't know if I can afford to take that
Hi
risk.
guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Trista, and in today's video we are going to talk about the debate that happened last night. And I started off with the clip from CNN about with the undecided voters, because that is kind of like the census that has been going on with a lot of people that are undecided. And so if you are still undecided on who you should vote for between Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, we're going to talk about it today. So it is 54 days until November 5th, okay, until they start counting the votes and who will be president of the United States of America. Okay, so we're gonna have to ask ourselves, as someone who is undecided, the two candidates, right? So we have Donald Trump, who was president before, and from 2016 to 2020, what exactly has been going on with Donald Trump, right? Then we have Kamala Harris, who is vice president currently and who is running to become the current president. Now, we need to ask ourselves, in this administration currently that she is a part of, is she doing a good job as of right now? Part of the administration that she is currently under, are they doing a good job? Now, President Biden signed for her to become the border czar of the immigration that is currently happening right now. Did she do a good job? As a senator, did she do a good job? These are some questions that we should be asking ourselves as someone who is undecided, right? That will be the question that I would ask, right? Because when I decided to really get involved in politics, you know, some of the things that I ran into when I was doing things or just getting information about Donald Trump, I was asking, are these some of the things that they are saying about him, like him being racist and, you know, he's not good for America and he's a dictator? You know, some of the research that I've been finding about Donald Trump didn't line up with my actual experience. And so I immediately thought to myself, well, where is this coming from? If this is not my current experience, where exactly is this information coming from? Again, this is just some questions that as undecided voters, what you should be looking for. And even though we currently have Taylor Swift just recently, right after the debate, said that she is endorsing Kamala Harris, which...
We have some breaking news right now. This doesn't need to be fact-checked, but Taylor Swift, and a picture of her and her cat, she has just posted that she watched the debate tonight and that she is endorsing Kamala Harris because, in her words, she fights for the rights and causes I believe need a warrior to champion them. I think she is steady-handed, gifted leader, and I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by calm and not chaos. I was so heartened, Taylor Swift writes, and impressed by her selection of running mate Tim Walz, who has been standing up for LGBTQ plus rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body for decades. Nancy Cordes, we know that Taylor's...
You know, that's who she wants to endorse. She has every right to endorse whoever, and she's making it plain and clear that she is endorsing Kamala Harris. Does that matter as someone who is actually experiencing some of the things that's currently happening right now, as far as high food prices, high gas prices, and the things that's happening with the border, immigration, and things like that? Does that matter that Taylor Swift, Kamala Harris, she's endorsing Kamala Harris? Does that matter of her opinion of who she endorsing? Does it change the fact that there's still a crisis at the border. There's still high gas prices and high food prices. Okay. Again, these are things that undecided voters should be thinking about. Okay. So I'm going to show this next clip of people actually asking the question to people that are actually endorsing Kamala Harris. What are some things that you like about Kamala Harris that she have done that you are going to vote for her and actually say, yes, I want more of what she is currently doing? Stay tuned. Look at this next clip, and we're going to talk about it afterwards.
As vice president?
I don't know. I don't feel comfortable doing this anymore.
She was a very good vice president.
That's an interesting question. Getting to vice president.
I have to do more research on her, honestly. I'm just glad to see a woman of color in charge for once. That's it.
I haven't followed her political career that closely.
This is a good one. I don't know.
I don't want to do that.
When I first heard that we were abandoning or we were withdrawing from Afghanistan and the way it was happening, I had my Kennedy moment. It was very similar to when we decided to invade Iraq back under President Bush. And when I saw that we were leaving that amount of high-tech equipment in the hands of our enemy, and later that day or later that week, I saw on the news where them celebrating with our guns in their hands, I realized what a travesty that was. In the loss of money in that we abandoned when we left, plus the very bullets that we left there that they were shooting at us as we flew away into plane.
Controlled border, secure border, because we've had a lot of people going through the border illegally. My family went through a long process to get here legally, so I feel that it's unfair for hundreds of thousands to get here without problems, and then for the federal government to help them out. We've also lost Americans because so many illegals were letting in, like the young boy from Ohio who had killed by an illegal immigrant.
Let's talk about the debate. Now, the debate was clearly biased. Okay, a lot of the things that Kamala Harris has talked about when it came to Donald Trump were not fact-checked by the moderators, and they were clearly moderating, or they were clearly fact-checking Donald Trump in the midst of the debate. Now, just for example, as plain as day, we know that Donald Trump has nothing to do with Project 2025, but Kamala Harris has brought that up as a continuous fight or argument against Donald Trump. Where, again, Donald Trump has nothing to do with Project 2025, but she brought it up as an argument. And so here are some of the clips that she talked about during the debate that she was not fact-checked. And we are going to watch that in this next clip.
What you're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends on implementing if he were elected again.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century. Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals.
If Donald Trump were to be reelected, he will sign a national abortion ban. Understand, in his Project 2025, there would be a national abortion, a monitor that would be monitoring your pregnancies, your miscarriages.
Migrant crime, and it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But
Excuse me, the FBI defraud.
Honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people.
And we should just point out here as clarification, and you know this, you and your allies, 60 cases in front of many judges, many of them
No
Republican,
judge looked at it.
And said
they
there was
said
no
we didn't have
widespread
standing.
fraud.
That's the other thing.
There was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side.
To watch that and still have no idea who each candidate is, you would have watched that and seen that number one, that the moderators were biased. Number two, that Kamala Harris was really passionate about women's rights. She was very passionate about women's rights. And Donald Trump seemed very mean and very insensitive during that debate. And even crazy, you know, he seemed crazy when he talked about the dogs and the cats and things that are happening. And it seems like she was very calm, you know, talking about these things and lying about Project 2025, and she's in support of women's rights. And it's things like that that is very frustrating and very disgusting to even watch, because of the amount of lies that she was not being checked on, that anyone that doesn't know what is going on when it comes to politics watches this show and then says, you know what, she has done a very good job, you know, pointing out some of the evil things that Donald Trump has done. When you have done the research, you would know that Project 2025 is a lie. It has nothing to do with Donald Trump. And some of these things that she's pointing out, that you will be monitored with, you know, every step, every stage of your pregnancy, you will be monitored. That is not true. It is between you and your doctor. So I just want to point out a lot of these things that, again, that are not true, that is just disgusting and so frustrating, and it is irritating that people are eating up these lies. People are eating it up, and it's just, it gets so and you do come off almost crazy when you're like, they don't know what they're talking about, or Donald Trump, you need to say these things, and she's lying and nobody's saying anything. You almost become crazy when you start to say things like, yes, the immigration border is going crazy. People are getting hurt out of all of these criminals that are coming from different countries that don't like America. Look at what is happening. And then when the people that are actually speaking out and talking about it, but then you have the moderator that's saying, well, the manager of the state is saying this and that. It's the people that are saying it, not the manager. So anyway, look at this clip, and we are going to watch another one of these clips that talk about, you know, some of the things that Kamala Harris has done, and even what Donald Trump has done as well. Let's take a look, and then we're going to end it after that.
She just basically repeated everything that Biden has said in the past.
What were your thoughts? She made, Donald Trump made a strong closing statement by saying, why didn't they do all the things that she's proposing during the 3.5 years that they've been in office? And Biden did this entire moderate stance back in 2020, and she's trying to do it again in 2024, but she didn't talk about her policy changes between 2020 and 2024. Her whole centrist moderate stance is just a facade.
Really debating Trump and even fact-checking him. They were like, Trump, it says right here, like, that's not correct. We got a piece of paper from a manager that says, like, that's not correct. But they didn't even care to fact-check Kamala Harris on the propaganda Project 2025. Yeah, it was very biased. It was so biased. And this is exactly why he has my vote. This is exactly why I'm voting for him. And y'all also noticed how Kamala Harris left her accent outside. Just so fake, disingenuous, phony, very
Vice President, I really don't. I know that she was sent to the border, but, and from what I hear in the news and stuff, she didn't accomplish much with that. But I don't know of many vice presidents that, at least, they probably do accomplish some things, but I never hear of it.
Actually, I couldn't even tell you what the biggest accomplishment is for her. I don't really pay attention to the news that much.
It's really difficult to say beyond her just being there what her biggest accomplishment is. For me personally, Palestine continues to be something that's heavy on my mind. And my rights as a woman in Arizona continue to be heavy on my mind. So it's not so much about her accomplishments and more about what she can do to ensure that my child, who's 14 years old, is going to have the same rights that I had that were recently taken away from me.
Unfortunately, I think she's been too much in the background of the vice president and not too much involved, with President Biden. I think she should have stepped it up a few notches to be more involved as vice president. So I think that would kind of hurt her.
Okay, so you get what I'm trying to say. There are a lot of different feelings and very, very passionate opinions of what has happened during the debate. But there's one thing that I really want to encourage you with that is so much more better than what Kamala has to say or even what Trump has to say. And I want to encourage you with the word of God. And obviously we know that God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He is the same. So no matter what is going on, God, this is not a surprise to God. God, as I've explained before, his hand is he has his hand in government and in policies and what is going on with the government and things like that. So we shouldn't be afraid of exactly what is going on, but we do need to call out those that are evil and things that are not right. We should definitely call those things out. And we know that God hates evil. So when we see that on display, we definitely need to call those things out and expose them as the darkness and evil as they are. And so in Psalms 37, this is David, and he is speaking, and I just want to read from verse 1 to verse 9, and this is such an encouragement. When I came across this, I just thought this is just excellent for for what is going on after the debate, what is going on with the things that's happening in government, the evil that is just being displayed, that is just being talked about and just so carelessly, evil that had just been, it just seems like evil is winning. And so David felt the same exact way that you may be feeling and that I definitely feel. It seems like that even with the debate that we just saw and things that are happening with the border and things that are happening even in government, there are things that are coming out that is just being talked about, and we need to expose those things. So it says in Psalms 37, do not fret because of those who are evil, or be envious of those who do wrong. Verse 2, for like the grass, they will soon wither, like green plants, they will soon die away. Verse 3, trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will do this. He will make your righteous reward shine like the dawn, your vindication like the noonday sun. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret when people succeed in their ways, when they carry out their wicked schemes. Refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret. It leads only to evil, for those who are evil will be destroyed, but those who hope in the Lord will inherit the land. Amen. And I just love that scripture. It just showcased, like I said, the evil that has been going on in the government, that has been going on here in society, when transgender ideas are being normalized and when men who want to be women because they feel like it is being normalized. This is not right, and this is evil that needs to be exposed. And so I just wanted to encourage you with this video, and then I also want to end with Donald Trump and his amazing speech at the end of this debate. It continuously encourages me that Donald Trump is honestly for the people. Kamala Harris, it doesn't seem like she is for the people. She's just saying things just to get you riled up and then speak to your emotions, especially when she mentions Project 2025, and we know that that's a lie. But at the same time, Donald Trump, talks about the people, and he cares about the people. He cares about this country. And so I wanted to highlight the end of this video, the speech that he gave, that I wanted to highlight that was just so amazing. And if you are in agreement, let me know what you liked about his speech or what you liked about the debate. I know that's different, right? I know everybody's saying, well, what didn't you like about the debate? But what was something that you did like about the debate? There is a lot of things that Kamala Harris, she honestly exposed herself. If you have done your research, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But again, Let's talk about it in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel and tuning in. We are growing. I want to continue to grow. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Continue to subscribe, like this channel to get it out there. I honestly think that YouTube has not been sharing my videos, and so I'm urging you to please like and share, like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and tune into my next video where I continue to give you a biblical perspective over society's lives. Thank you guys so much for watching, and tune into my next video. But watch this last clip of Trump and his amazing last remarks of this debate. God bless.
So she just started by saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it? She's been there for 3.5 years. They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. They've had 3.5 years to create jobs and all the things we talked about. Why hasn't she done it? She should leave right now, go down to that beautiful White House, go to the Capitol, get everyone together and do the things you want to do, but you haven't done it, and you won't do it because you believe in things that the American people don't believe in. You believe in things like, we're not going to frack, we're not going to take fossil fuel, we're not going to do things that are going to make this country strong, whether you like it or not. Germany tried that, and within 1 year they were back to building normal energy plants. We're not ready for it. We can't sacrifice our country for the sake of bad vision. But I just ask one simple question. Why didn't she do it? We're a failing nation. We're a nation that's in serious decline. We're being laughed at all over the world. All over the world they're laughed. I know the leaders very well. They're coming to see me. They call me. We're laughed at all over the world. They don't understand what happened to us as a nation. We're not a leader. We don't have any idea what's going on. We have wars going on in the Middle East. We have wars going on with Russia and Ukraine. We're going to end up in a third world war, and it'll be a war like no other because of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away to the Taliban. She gave it to Afghanistan. What these people have done to our country, and maybe toughest of all, is allowing millions of people to come into our country. Many of them are criminals, and they're destroying our country. The worst president, the worst vice president in the history of our country.